Hello, Robin. Everyone loves the Drake fans. This is the 100th video that will be posted to our YouTube page. And Rob had made a couple of the videos, and I had made some of the videos. So it's not my personal 100th video, but it is our 100th video uploaded. So I thought I'd do something special for our 100th video. Um, and that is I was going to review Robin issue 100. And I read this issue and realized that that was a huge mistake and I shouldn't have done that. But we're going to dive into it and take a look and see what's going on this issue. Now, in the podcast where we're recording right now, we're about 70 issues away from this or so. I got to double check, but we're in the Contagion storyline, which I think is around like the issue 30 or so of Robin. So we're a ways away. This issue, I have to say, came out in 2001 at a time when I was not really reading comics. It was a time in my life where I was learning to adult. I was out getting my first real job and my first real apartment, and not a lot of time for comics. I moved to a different state and hadn't really found a good comic book store that I liked. So I was not reading comics. And this is part of sort of the Bruce Wayne murderer storyline that was taking place that I totally missed. And I had no idea when I did this, but let me dive in here. Let me look at I believe it's on the first page here. Let's see here. Um, was that first page? Uh-oh. Let me try that again. Oh, that's 11. That's why. Too many ones. Okay, there it is. Page one. Um, so it starts off with Robin and talking about how expensive everything costs. So you can see it says the price of justice, and look at how just quick and snappy and sharp this dialogue is, with like lots of really cool action going on in the background. And contrast that to later in the story, as you'll see. So it says, it takes a lot to do what we do: courage, dedication, training. And as I'm learning now, it takes a lot of cash. Like, see that quick, snappy, right? And it kind of talks about how much some of these gadgets that Batman has, like the Kevlar cowl, and the miniaturized voice activated radio sender receiver, 500 bucks at Radio Shack. I don't know why all the smiley faces are here. You could see there's sort of like a tonal shift that I wasn't reading, where I don't know if they were trying to be like sort of manga or Teen Titans Go, or I'm not really sure what it was, but there's definitely a kind of a shift in Robin. And so Batman and Robin are beating up some bad guys. It's You really don't know what's going on. Like, they're not really explaining it. They're not really saying who these guys are. It's just kind of background for Robin, talking about how expensive things are, like the fire resistant cape, $350. Things that are probably, reading it back then, people wouldn't think of, but now with like so many cosplayers, people are like, oh yeah, I know exactly how much this stuff is and how expensive it can be to look cool at the convention. So we get a little bit more of this. They're kind of going away. They talk about the Bat Cave, how expensive it is to heat, and I guess they're getting up to the point where you're going to find out that Bruce is not there anymore. And I was looking for the title card. Um, where is, I'll jump around a little bit. I guess it's not there. I guess it's at the end. But this issue, I guess I pulled it up. Let me go back. Sorry. Um, Too far. I think I pulled it up here. So I think I went to right here. Oops, sorry. Um, Robin 100. I think this is where I saw it, and it says, yeah, this is where I saw it. It says writers Chuck Dixon, John Lewis, and we had just read Robin Year One, where it was written by Chuck Dixon and Scott Beatty. So I thought, oh, this is a collaboration. No, wrong. It is not. Chuck Dixon writes the first half of this story, and then John Lewis writes the second half, which has a huge, huge shift. And what I didn't realize is that this is Chuck Dixon's last story. Oh yeah, that's right. Because at the very end, I'm going to jump around here. No spoilers because yeah, there's it's really not that good. Um, where is it here? I think it's the last. Oh, I'm in the wrong stuff. Hold on. Hold the phone. Um, this one right here. There we go. Oh, okay. Oh, this is so sad. I don't even want to show you guys this. So sad. Okay. No spoilers because I don't even know what's going on to spoil it. But it says Chuck Dixon for the last time and John Lewis for the first time. I didn't realize that till the very end. And then it made sense why the book was so weird that the first half was pretty good and the second half was just horrible. And I don't know why Chuck Dixon decided to or leave the book or if it was not a decision. One of the interesting things that I saw when I was looking at this is that issue 99, the executive editor right here is Mike Carlin, but then issue 100 the executive editor is Dan DiDio. So was that part of the reason why Dixon was taken off the book? Or did Dixon just think, 100 issues, that's a good run? As it said there, Chuck Dixon for the last time, but we'll see. Chuck Dixon comes back and does a few episodes of Robin later on, about, I guess it's about 50 issues later, just for a couple. Um, but makes me wonder. Now, John Lewis is going to stick around for a while. He's there for about 20 issues, and we'll talk about him and John Lewis and some of the things that I found later. But let's go through the Dixon thing here, and I wonder how much this issue was Dixon um, being told what to do, and how much was it. This is what he wanted to set up for the creator coming on. I feel like he was kind of told to do this. So basically, there is Tim Drake talking to his dad, who this is before he gets a boomerang in his chest, and his stepmom. And as his dad says, "We're broke, Tim. I'm sorry." And I think I've said this before. I hate when they do this. I know James Tinney in the fourth is doing it right now, taking away Bruce Wayne's money. I hate when they do this. I think they did it to Tony Stark at one point. I hate it when you've got these rich billionaires in the comic books and they make them go broke and they think that that's some kind of like, I don't know. I don't know what they think it is, but I hate it. I like them rich. I like seeing them rich. Now they have a little conversation about they're going to move to their sort of apartment in their condo in the city. They're going to sell their mansion, and that Tim has got to sell the Redbird. But what I do love about Chuck Dixon is, who does Robin go to? Who does Robin confide in? He confides in Stephanie. In spoiler, this is just such a great little bit where it's just, Tim's just kind of heartbroken, and he the one person he can go to, the one person he can talk to is Stephanie, and that is just fantastic. And Chuck Dixon does this cool little writing here. It's let me go back. He says right here at the very end here, Tim says, oh, it takes me forever to do this, right? So, it's okay, Dad. Don't beat yourself up. Not like it's the end of the world, right? And then when you click to the next page, eventually, the first thing says, Tim says, it's the end of the world. I love that. But having this confidant to confide in is great. And Steph is like, dude, I fight crime on a budget, and Tim kind of reminds her, Bruce has been helping you out with a lot of that stuff. So that's kind of cool. Um, then they kind of talk a little bit here, and Stephanie says that she's been, having some. Where was it here? Right here. Oh, I guess that's. Oh, right there. Okay, sorry. Um, so they talked about like, uh, you know, Tim's problems, but the dialogue is quick and it's snappy and it's good and it's set but with like really interesting backgrounds, cool Dutch angles. And then Tim says, "What turned you into an optimist all of a sudden?" And says, "Since Black Canary tossed my dad and his gang out of the house." What? A scene in Birds of Prey 40 for those who need to know. So Chuck Dixon at this time was also writing Birds of Prey, which is what I had down here, and this was issue 40 that I kind of looked up here, and he's it's part of the Bruce Wayne murderer plot also. And it seems like Dixon kept writing Birds of Prey for a while, kept writing Nightwing, kept writing a lot for DC. So it's kind of odd that he's taken off Robin, and I'd love to know and ask if that was just, hey, I did 100 issues, I'm out, or if the powers that be, Dan DiDio, making changes, says you've done 100 issues, you're out. One cool thing about this issue of Birds of Prey 40, there is a great scene, and I didn't download all the pictures for it, just a couple, just to kind of give you guys a little view of it here. But there's some really great interaction between Tim Drake and Barbara Gordon Oracle, and they do some really good detective work where they're trying to figure out um, Bruce Wayne murderer and that mystery. And it's just some really great scenes. It's really cool seeing Stephanie in the Birds of Prey and interacting with Black Canary. It's cool to see some of these issues sort of minus Batman and the Clock Tower. Dixon does that really well. And there's Stephanie. This was Stephanie right here, and Black Canary kicking Stephanie's dad out of the house. Look at the dent he put in the refrigerator there. I'm the Black Canary, and that was my canary cry. Yeah, pretty cool. Um, with Steph, even though she's kind of covered up, you can kind of see her expression there. That's pretty awesome. Um, so anyway, that's kind of cool. So back to Robin 100, and again, this it, it's kind of weird because it doesn't say it's an extra sized issue 100, but it kind of is, and it doesn't really have like, I don't know, like a special cover or something on it to say 100 issues, or I don't know. I guess today now, if a comic book hits 25 issues, it's like special. Wow! Oh my gosh! Look at this. Let's put out 53 covers for issue 25. It's amazing it ran this long. And here it's like 100, and I'm like, yeah, just throw a couple pages at the end. And I said it's kind of a mistake that I read this because a lot of this is just like all talk, no action, just setting things up. This Dixon stuff in the beginning was fun, and here's another. This is another one where God Dixon does this so good that when you read the John Lewis stuff at the end, it just makes you just feel like, oh, why? So let me show you here. So here's Tim and Steph, and he says, "All right, winding time's over, okay?" Like he just had to get it out of his system. Awesome. And she says, "That's the boy wonder I love. Sure, you can be giddy. Your problems are solved for now. I guess you know what I have to do right now." And I think so. It just takes off her mask for a kiss, and he jumps. I have to say goodbye to the guys at Brentwood. Catch you later, Steph. Huh? And she says, clueless. Absolutely clueless. Like that is just great Chuck Dixon writing right there. Ah, that's so good. And then later on, it just all goes downhill from there. All right. So then Steph takes off. And then we get some interaction with the guys. Now, as I said, I wasn't really reading around this time, so I don't really know too much about what's going on other than this is Drake's stuff, and the guy really wants his DVD player, which kind of dates it a little bit in the 90s. But they kind of like have their goodbye, and so I'm one of them. I think has a drug addiction problem that he talks to him about. And there's this dog, so it'll be interesting to see um, when we do this for the podcast what happened because then Tim kind of thinks back, and there's a whole bunch of these creatures here. It looks like Man Bat and maybe Cobra. And I have no idea. The creature from the Black Lagoon? I don't know. Um, Somebody right now is watching this who loves these issues and are like, you idiot, don't you know who that is? I don't know who that is. But someday I'll read all these issues and figure it out. So that'll be fun for the podcast. Um, then we've got Tim on his computer, just kind of what was he doing here? I don't even remember. What was he doing? Uh, let's see. And this, oh look, it's like one of those old apples. Oh, that's right. Selling a lot of stuff online auctions. Talk dad out of the yard sale. Dodge that humiliation. So that's right. He's selling stuff on the internet. And oh, ebid.com. Yeah, so it's we're getting more modern times. Oh, is that a zip drive? I used to have one of those. Wow, Tim's got a lot of CDs. I wonder how many of those are third base, if you've know what I'm talking about from the podcast. All right, so now Tim's got to sell the Redbird, and what was interesting is when I read this, it said Alfred shows up. Poor Alfred. Rest in peace, Alfred. I miss you. When Alfred shows up in disguise and buys the Redbird from Tim without him realizing it, so that way he can give the money to that Irish woman who was his maid so she can go back to Ireland and see her brother or something like that. And so when Alfred shows up here, um, he's in his disguise. I was like, come on, how does Tim not know that that's Alfred? But whoever wrote the synopsis had it wrong because Tim knows exactly it's Alfred because the second, oh, it's on this panel, sorry. The second uh, Tim gets out the door, he says, "Pretty slick, Alfred." And is, I anticipated your difficulties in selling the Red Bird. What does Bruce pay you to dress like that? Yeah. So there was actually a little thing in the beginning too when Tim was talking about how much everything costs. He was like, "Gosh, how much does Alfred cost? What does Tim pay Alfred? I have no idea." So apparently he gets an amazing sum of $50,000 for the Redbird. And Dana's pretty happy, and they say, "Look, we got to take some of this money and do what's right by Mrs. Mack." And there she is. And I guess that's the end of Mrs. Mack as she disappears in. We've seen other cars with different titles in the show, or not the show, the thing, but she gets taken away in the Dixon Cab Company. So I guess Chuck is also driving a cab while writing all these comics. And I wonder if, hmm, let me see. I wonder if the artist who did this, I wonder if that's based off Chuck Dixon. So it says Dixon, and then it's just weird. Tim's holding this sign, "Good luck," and they put that in. I feel like the artist put that in as a goodbye to Chuck Dixon. I've not seen Chuck Dixon what he looked like in 2001, so maybe that's what he looked like. I've only seen him now, like 20 years later, where he's a lot older. So don't know. Maybe that's Dan DiDio waving goodbye to Dixon. But either way, that's where the Dixon that's where the Dixon run of Robin ends. And I had no idea. I thought this was like a story that Dixon and John Lewis wrote together. Had no idea that was the goodbye of Chuck Dixon right there, although he does come back a little bit later. And then all of a sudden, it's just really jarring. This is page 18. Then all of a sudden, oh, where'd it go? I think I got to zoom. I'm zoomed just a speck. There we go. It totally changes, and the dialogue is just awful. I don't even know what's going on. This looks like is that Gotham City or is that Disney Epcot or what is this? And listen to this internal dialogue that is supposed to be Tim. It says, "They'll never last. Why don't these little islands of winter just give up and melt?" I had no idea what he was talking about, but I guess it's these. And now the second time I read it, I guess it's this ice. But I don't even know that it's Tim. I only know it's Tim because I've read this before. So that's all right. So that made sense this time. Their side loses again, just like every year. But I'm afraid that in the last couple of weeks, I've swallowed enough cold truth to keep their cause alive well into summertime. My boss, my teacher is gone. Gone as in fled. Yeah, but also gone out of his head. And now he may be a murderer as well. God help me. I can't believe I even think that's possible. But I do. I don't think I know him anymore. And then there's some this. No, I didn't order that many GQs. What is this? Just no need for this. God, this is like so word. This is like, oh, gosh. All right. Um, a month ago, I was furious at him for being a monomaniacal and a jerk, but that was still Bruce. I was mad because he wasn't living up to our partnership and our friendship. What I'd give to go back to that mundane little quarrel. I don't even feel angry now, just sick and at sea. What the heck? Who talks like no one talks like this, let alone Tim Drake? Like go back to that dialogue he was having with Stephanie and how snappy and it's the end of the world. And gosh, it just keeps going on like this, page after page. It's terrible. Oh gosh, there's this whole wordy thing where Tim Drake's dad is all depressed because he lost his money, so he doesn't want to get out of bed anymore or do anything. Then Tim is I don't even want look at all of this. Just oh my god, it's just awful. All right, and then let's see, page 20. Tim is like getting ready to go for a walk or something, right? So that's page 20. Then there's a page of Tim walking, and there's this like whole thing with this guy, and he's like he rides the elevator. It's and they go in this whole spiel about why he's an elevator operator, and then another page of Tim walking, and more just like mundane dialogue, and then another page now this person shows up. I had no idea who this was, and I'm like, is this Dana? Because it kind of looks like her from right here. But then it says, "Oh, I've cut my hair." It took me like 2 or 3 pages to figure out it was Stephanie. And so I don't know. I maybe if I was reading Bruce Wayne Murderer, I'd get it. So here's another page, and then another page. Tim is still walking, still with dialogue like, "Here's the thing: no one can predict their own future. The best the guy can do is to look to those who've been much longer on the same path as him and see what a life of walking that path has done for them." What? What is that? What is that? Oh my! And it's just panel and after panel of this, and page after page of this. And it's not even interesting. Like the background. Like remember those first couple pages where Bruce and Tim were fighting as Robin, and they were punching bad guys while they were talking about how much stuff was. And how much the cape cost. That was interesting. This is just dull. It's just page of him walking. I'm like, what is this? And this guy, this weird elevator guy, like hits on Dana and tells him that they have some kind of uh, get together at the, where is it? I don't know. I can't even remember where it is. Some place that's just foreshadowing for the next couple issues. And look, Tim's walking again. Then this guy, he's just like, look, do you see that? What? Oh no. And then they leave you hanging of what he's seeing. And look, another panel, another panel. Look at all this just dialogue. And look, I'm just gonna randomly pull into some a panel, and I bet you it's just crazy. Stop kidding yourself, Beaker. Steph shows no signs of losing any commitment to the job, and you don't use your girlfriend as a way to avoid making up your own mind. What? What is? Uh, I don't want her to stick with it deep down, because then if Steph stopped, that'd be my excuse to stop too, for the sake of our relationship. It just, I don't even know. And look at his face. He looks like so dull and mundane, and he's still just walking. Oh my gosh. And then we get this weird thing here, which there's like noise going on, and this woman comes out. And she's like, I sleep all day and I'm up at night. So why are you cleaning my or fixing my sink? And he's like, well, I thought no one was home. And then she goes back, and then we go back to Tim walking. So she turns out to be, because I had to go look that up. Um, she is named Natalia Mettenrich, who changes her appearance a lot for this cover right here. I guess she goes by Nocturna, which is a character that has appeared several times in the DC universe, including, I think, Batwoman, and I think it was even on the TV show right there. But she does not appear very much in this incarnation, because as you can see, her first appearance we just saw in Robin 100. Her last appearance is in Robin 105. So she's not Nocturna is not going to be around very much longer for that. All right, so let's keep going with this. Let's try to wrap this up because this is just awful. All right, so where are we here? Oh, this was the good part. Oh, this is the bad part. All right, so Tim finally gets to some abandoned weird place. There's more walking, tries to get in, then comes back as Robin. So like what was it was just page after page after page of nothing to get to here. We could have just started here and we would have just been fine. And he finds this guy who's kind of looks like he was hiding in a bat symbol, and then let's see, oh, he's kind of hiding, and oh, there's what he's Tim is waiting for Batman to show up, I guess, and then he sees a Robin, which is I guess what that guy saw, like, I don't want to keep harping on it, but read this terrible dialogue. Is that a no way. That'd be too corny. But it is. It's the first robin of spring. I don't read my horoscope, and I've been known to leave a fortune cookie unopened on the table. But what the heck? What the heck am I supposed to do to make of this? Like, I can't even read it. It's so just not my Chuck Dixon Tim that it just makes me want to scream. All right, and then Batman comes up from behind and sprays him with something, and then Robin is just fighting to not pass out, and he's staying awake, but he can hear this guy. Batman's messing up this guy, and I don't know. It's got something to do with Batman, Bruce Wayne murderer or something. I don't really know, but that whole half just depressed me, and I was like, no, and that's terrible. And I tried to look up some things about the whole uh, run of what was his name here, John Lewis, and everything I found were people complaining about how horrible his run was. He ends up going for 20 issues, and I found this. This is from Comic CBR, I guess Comic Book Resource, from 2001. It's kind of funny because I remember when the internet first came out, everything was always new on it. You look something up and it was always new, and then it started to be like, oh wait, this is on the internet, but it's kind of whole old. And now this article's, almost 20 years old on the article. But it was talking about John Lewis takes on Robin, and he really hadn't done any superheroes or superhero. He had done sort of an indie comic called True Swamp, and just from this article, you can tell he just doesn't. He's just not a good fit for Tim Drake because it says right here. Right here it says this is his quote. I love using the familiar urban here and now and people's everyday emotional lives as a frame for magical or mysterious or outlandish events. Right there, I don't want Robin to be magical and mysterious and outlandish. I'm not even really thinking of it as a superhero comic. It's Robin. It's the ultimate superhero comic. What are you doing? Okay. Um, since I see superpowers as just a form of magic in terms of how they work in the storytelling frame, and to me, magic in storytelling is an extension of the character's personality or feelings. Like, Batman and Robin don't have superpowers, but okay. Some part of them or some part of their past is so huge or intense that it manifests itself into this strange, visible, physical way. Alternately, magic can be an extension of the non living too, a place or situation so significant that it intrudes into the realm of the living and moving, as if it has a mind of its own. Of course, Robin himself doesn't have any powers, nor does Spoiler, and who else? Where is this? And they're the two heroes of the book. But what I was just talking about applies very much to the people and situations they'll be getting mixed up in. So I'm like, oh, I don't want magical stuff. I don't want this in the Robin book. And apparently nobody else did because if you look at this comic book sales here, so this is December, November. What is this here? Um, where was I? So let's go to, is this the one? Um, let's see. This is the earliest I pulled up. March 2002. And let's find where Robin was selling here. There's Robin, issue 100. It was a little bit more. It was 350. It sold 33,000 copies. It was the 47th book. So that's not that great. So I can see why DC might have wanted to um, mix it up a little bit. I mean, Catwoman was outselling it. Birds of Prey was outselling it. Green Lantern was outselling it. So yeah, not doing that great. But here in, let's see, 2003. This is all of 2003, right? Let me go here. This is December 2002. So where's Robin? Okay, let's find Robin. Uh-oh, did I skip it? Oh, there he is. Robin, 109. So this is about 9 issues into John Lewis's run, and you can see it's at 25,929. So it's gone down about 8,000. And in a book that has that small of a run, Going down 8,000 is pretty bad. It's dropped to 83rd place. So right here, issue 100, 47th place. That's not good. This overall 2003, you could see what was selling, and I think this is kind of interesting. So in 2003, the number one selling book in the entire year has Tim Drake on the cover. It was part of the Batman Hush line, right? Also, number five was there. So the number one selling book of the whole year, right, is Batman 619 with our boy Tim on the cover, but yet his own book is just not doing very well. This is November 2003. And let's see, where was Robin in November 2003? Robin, where you at? Where you at, Robin? Oh no, did he drop even further? Oh my goodness. Oh, there he is. Whew. Okay. So this is the last book of the John Lewis run. He's at now down to 103rd place, only selling 22,000. So it dropped by 11,000. It was only selling in the 30s. So it dropped, its readership dropped by a third. Um, and oh gosh, it outsold Spider Girl. Way to go. But this is pretty bad. If you look at some of the books, let's look at a couple books that outsold Robin. G.I. Joe Frontlines, um, Fables, which is a Vertigo title, Batgirl, Adventures of Superman, Why the Last Man. I mean, Teen Titans Go. It was a first issue, but still outselling Robin. Um, Thor Vikings. What is that? All right, Wolverine Snick. Um, Street Fighter, Ecstatic. Man, these books just outsold Robin, so it's kind of sad here. And then if we look here, I think this is issue 121. Let's see, where's Robin? Yep, 121. You can see the very first issue without John Lewis sold 30,000 and went up to 64 place. So once people heard he was off the book, sales jumped. And so this is his first book. This will give you an idea. Look at that cover of Robin, like with the mystical and the magical. Like that's not what we really want. Now, if somebody loved this, well, if you love this, you're probably still not listening to me. But if somebody really loved this run, then I apologize to you. I'm sorry. And you know what? I haven't read it yet, so maybe I'll love it. Maybe I'll make another video saying, John Lewis, greatest run ever, better than Chuck Dixon. I don't know. All I know is the half an issue of 100 I read was not good. So here's issue 121. This is when John Lewis is off the book. This is in February 2004, or cover date of February 2004. Came out December 17th, 2003. And then this is written by Bill Willingham. And Bill Willingham is on the book for a while. Bill Willingham has gained a lot of fame for his work on Fables for Vertigo, which I've read some of that, which I really liked. He looks really kind of like mean and serious in that picture. What's going on there, Bill? Cheer up. But Bill writes the book all the way up to issue 147, which I think at this point Jeff Johns is writing a lot of Tim Drake's stuff in the Teen Titans run. But at 148, Bill Willingham leaves the book. This is the 1 year later time jump, new costume, and new writer Adam Beechin. And so I'm going to have to talk to Rob with the podcast. Maybe we might want to do like a John Lewis one episode, all 20 issues in one episode, and jump right to the Bill Willingham era. Or maybe we will just I'll enjoy the train wreck that is. But again, I haven't read these 20 issues, so I will reserve judgment. But what I've read of the reviews on them and what I've read so far is not very promising. So anyway, this was our 100th video. I thought this would be a quick little video And guess what? It wasn't. I can't shut up, so I just kept talking and talking and talking. So if you have stayed with me all this time, thank you so much. You are um, an angel on earth. I don't know. I don't know what to call you for, for listening all this way, but I appreciate it. And let me know in the comments because I am new to this whole John Lewis era. So if you have read these 20 issues, let me know. What do you think? Am I wrong? Am I in for a surprise? Does it get better? I mean, sometimes I've read issues from a writer, and the first couple issues I just don't like, and somewhere along the line it gets better, and then I really like it. Other times I just think, man, this writer just didn't understand these characters and just didn't click, and it was just a mistake. But anyway, happy 100. See you all next time for 101.